Hello, FleetReadyFam. Welcome to Fleet Ready Gaming. My name is Savad, and today is February 2nd, 2023, and we are doing another Patch Notes Watchout. Today's patch notes were very interesting as, well, a number of bugs were fixed today. With this latest patch, a whole bunch more cropped up. I have a feeling this is with the patch being open to Wave 2 now, and the added stress on the server has shown some more issues that may have been there before or may have just cropped up due to other changes. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So for the known issues, there's still quite a bit that still remain from previous patches, so we'll quickly go through those. Constellation Snub is still having issues. RMC canisters for multi-tool are still not attaching properly. Scanning is still not showing advanced statistics and details. Elevators and trams still jittery. The Anvil Carrack is still having salvaging issues. Looks like they got the Nomad fixed. The Valkyrie bottom turret is still having issues being locked and making players invisible. Certain wreckage are still giving no material text when you're trying to salvage. Specific destroyed ship thrusters are still not functioning after being repaired. Fully loaded C2 at Area 18 will result in low frames and crash. One has come back from last patch. When flying near another ship, ships seem to hit an invisible box that kicks it in random directions. They mentioned they had gotten fixed, but it looks like it's still cropping up. Moving on to some of the newer issues. High-capacity cargo vessels, when loaded, can cause severe performance drop on both client and server. After an ungraceful disconnect upon loading back into the game, player spawn may not complete and result in a 30,018 error. Players are not spawning into Grim Hex when dying with a crime stat outside of monitor space. If a player is placed into Klesher after being rescued with a crime stat, the player is respawned in the facility still incapacitated. This one I heard had been going on for a while. Had an org mate who had this happen to them a couple patches back. The target reclaimer, October Rising, will disappear when you get very close to it, making it the mission impossible. Selling some of the cargo while the vehicle is stored causes the cargo to show at its max inventory capacity. Large amounts of cargo sold at once will cause the transaction to fail. The cargo will be taken and no money will be granted. That's not good. Stolen cargo does not behave as such and can be sold at its legal cargo if the ship with the cargo is stored. That's interesting. I had heard originally from someone that was supposed to be intended, but that looks like that is not the case. For the reclaimer, distortion damage taken to the unshielded top of the reclaimer causes massive drop in client and server FPS on demand. Occasionally unable to exit ship seats for specific ship cockpits. Klesher Rehabilitation Infinite Black Loading Screen on loading into Klesher. ASOP, ships duplicated when left somewhere and shard change happens and file claim on ASOP. Transit for elevators, players can fall through elevators. Yes, that's been an issue for a long time. Lifetime management, items are not destroyed, cleaned up to the persistence limit when in a vehicle after streaming in the area out for 60 minutes. Rest stops, the player's unable to call elevators from hangar interiors. That's not just rest stops. Lorville was also having issues with that for some time. Vehicle docking, a retrieved ship delivered to a docking port will be missing collision. Multiple locations. When storing a ship, the ASOP terminal will set the ship status to claim instead of retrieve. Moving on to feature updates, gameplay. New Ocean hide stack contraband added to SPK. That was all that was added, and then onto the bug fixes. The Hercules C2 cockpit door panel button text has been fixed. It used to split and cut off. The 890 jump hijack mission, pirates would not spawn aboard the 890 jump, preventing any mission progress. An exploit was fixed to where if a player used Alt F4 as they died, they would keep their equipment. Salvage on the P-52 Merlin wingtip showed as invalid, but has been fixed. For trading, cargo was invisible on multiple ships after being purchased. Glad to see they got that fixed. For the ASOP terminal, spawning ships caused the requested ship to spawn outside of the hangars. Hadn't seen or heard of that one. Glad to hear that got that fixed. The Rock and Rock DS mining arms were not aligned with the reticle. That got fixed. Let's see, landing gear and controls. After swapping components via the VMA, if the player claims the ship via the ASOP, the landing gear will stop functioning. Glad to hear that's fixed, because landing is definitely important. Meanwhile, for Clusher, bounty on escapee will persist even after they've cleared their crime stats. So that, I take it, that means the UI would still persist. An AI has a chance to spawn inside a wall that is inaccessible to the player for infiltrate and defend missions. That's been fixed. Also fixed, HEC was unable to assign a hangar on retrieval or landing despite all hangars being empty. That's definitely good. Meanwhile, for underground bunkers, mission NPCs kills were not recorded. Glad to get that fixed. I've definitely had some issues with that myself. The Gladius, all variants, Foundation Festival paints caused ship invulnerability. That's a nice exploit. But that got fixed. Meanwhile, the Horizon Transit's shuttles were causing issues by ceasing to function and getting stuck. And last but not least, volatile cargo. Ships will retain the volatile cargo alarm and damage on countdown from volatile cargo removed by the refinery. This one, I believe, has been on for the last couple patches. It's glad to hear they got it fixed. I was having similar issues with missile locks, with the missile alarm continuously just blaring after being locked for, gosh, upwards to 5 minutes. And last but not least, 2 client crashes were fixed and 8 server crashes were fixed. So overall, a fairly thick patch. A bunch of stuff fixed, but a bunch more that cropped up. So hopefully we'll see another patch here in a day or two and get closer to that 3.18 live release. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for watching our video today. If you liked it, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps the YouTube algorithm, populate Star Citizen related content and helps our channel get out there a bit more. If you could, please consider subscribing to us. We're, a small channel looking to grow and provide more Star Citizen content. And, our goal for the year is 100 users. We're up to 23 now, and would love to have you be part of our community. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.